Very much, yes. I see lots of children from professional colleges who don't want to do medicine but got into medicine because parents asked them to, got into engineering because parents asked them to. See, there is something called aptitude and there is something called intelligence. See, each child has certain level of intelligence. Not all have academic intelligence to go into IIT, BITS and all that. The intelligence can be social intelligence. The intelligence can be creative intelligence. A person can be enormously creative and can do extremely well in a creative field like designing or architecture. So you have to know about child's intelligence first of all, where the child is more intelligent. Second is where the child wants to be. A child who is academically very brilliant not necessarily may want to be a doctor. He may just want to be a journalist. That is something we have to accept and appreciate, that the child has certain preference and that's what the child wants to do. When the child is forced against his nature, his aptitude, then the child goes on to experience a lot of frustration in a difficult course like medicine or engineering, and based on that sometimes can even go up to suicide. So very important that we have realistic expectations. Not all children can score above 95%, but most parents who are scoring less than 50 marks want their children to score 95 plus or centum if possible. Just expecting that much is not very helpful. So we need to know what the child is capable of and can motivate the child to score a little better, but not to the top level of scoring centum all the time. Many children lose interest in studies because they are not able to meet parental expectations. That's very sad because they want to satisfy the parents who are spending so much on tuition, spending so much energy taking them here and there. But when the child is not able to, which may be beyond the capacity of the child experiences enormous negativity in the mind. So for the well-being of the children, parents should be very careful as to what they expect of their children. See, parents should first of all understand the child instead of imposing their preferences. Many times father wanted to be a doctor but ended up as a banker, so he or she wants their children to get into medicine. So forget about your preferences, your past likings. Just view the child and the child's capabilities. Number two, participate in their studies. Not all children have good memory. They are not well cognitively tuned to retain information. So you have to make it as a multimedia expression for the child to learn as much as possible. There are lots of information on the internet, there are lots of aids, and you can in your own house create lots of materials which are interesting for the child to learn. Third thing is, instead of advising the child to study, which most children don't even hear what we are advising, participate with in their learning process. Participate with them, sit with them, ask them to study and recite to you, ask them to write and show it to you, give them generous marks, encourage them. Don't be critical. The brain becomes dysfunctional when a person is critical. If you shout at someone for 10 minutes and ask them what is 5 plus 7, they will come up with some bizarre answers which will further make you angry. Instead, encourage a person. When you face encouragement, the brain starts functioning even better. So encouraging is very important. Third is, what you talk to the child apart from studies is very important. Many people center it around studies. When a child wants to go for a movie, the parent says, the same interest, why don't you show in studies? When they are sitting in a restaurant and if a child wants a coke, Parents say this interest you should show in your chemistry. So, like this, do not center it on child's weaknesses. Look at child's strength. Even if a child is not doing well, that's okay, because there are lots of professions now. A child can shine in any field. It all depends on how they are going to work and how they are going to contribute to the society at later stages. It's just not true that all those who are scoring centum have a fabulous life and all those bank benchers have a miserable life. Not at all true. People who are not studied have a fantastic life. They have creativity, they have hard work, they have faced so much of hardships, they know the world better, they are well equipped to face disappointments, so they try out new things and succeed many a times.